It is only 8 seasons without Michael Schumacher. He finished his second stint in F1 at the end of the 2012 season. Of course, this story tugs at the heartstrings because since his skiing accident, Michael Schumacher, Mick's father, hasn't been seen in the public eye. Mick has actually thanked both his parents, Michael and Corinna, for the love they've shown to him and the support to bring him to this point in his career. Incredible burden, I suppose, that name to carry. Also an asset to him. Ted Kravitz is with me. And that's the question. There'll be an enormous spotlight on Mick Schumacher. Does that explain why he's beginning his career with the team nearly at the absolute back of the grid?
Well, in a sense, Mick is echoing what his dad Michael did. He's starting with a small team. Michael started with the Jordan team in Formula One, and before that, the Sauber team in sports cars, before he went to Benetton and then his first of 7 world championships. So in a sense, Mick is echoing what his dad has done, except he's doing it without the backup of his dad, and he would love to do that. You know, Michael was always so proud of his kids, of Mick. Maybe, well, we don't know whether Formula One would have been the path that he would have chosen to go down, but I'm sure he'll be very proud of him. Mick's mum, Corinna, Michael's wife, of course, famously was very relieved when Michael stopped racing. She said to us, at last I have him back. But now she's got a son racing in Formula One. So it'll be an immense source of pride to Michael and to Corinna Schumacher. And Mick's got a big job ahead of him, but hopefully a long time to do it. Because he's a slow burner, isn't he, Mick Schumacher? He's not explosive in his speed, and so obviously deserves to be in Formula One from an early age like Michael Schumacher. Mick's taken a couple of years in all the seasons that he's done in order to win the championship. So we need to give him a bit of time in Formula One.
OK, fair enough. Well, that was one driver announcement. The most recent one, half an hour before that, we learned that George Russell would be driving in place of Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes this weekend. I speculated that car certainly, well, on a good day with experienced drivers, should be in the top 2 in qualifying and in race trim. What target can you set Russell just jumping into it right at the end of a season?
It's going to be very difficult for George, but he's an expert at qualifying on Saturday. So I would imagine top 5 in qualifying on Saturday would be a very good result for him. Top 4 even, really, he should be near enough the Red Bulls, who would be naturally only the ones slower than the Mercedes. And then in the race, I think he can be, again, top 4 would be very good. A podium would be kind of expected in the car that he's driving. But really, this is Mercedes bringing some positive news out of from the body blow, really, which was that their lead driver and world champion Lewis Hamilton had contracted COVID-19. That was a body blow for them. It was not a great story for them, but they've really turned it around. They've turned that negative into a very big positive, giving their development driver, their young driver, great for British motorsport, George Russell, the chance of making his Grand Prix debut in a top team like Mercedes. He's been racing for 2 years as George Russell, with nothing really to show for it. Literally no points at Williams because the car's not up to it. Now he's in the best car. Let's see what he can do. Very exciting for Mercedes and for British motorsport.
Yeah, you have to respect the calm, the lack of frustration which outwardly Russell has displayed during this pointless spell of his career. He's been able to distinguish himself, though, by out-qualifying his teammate 36 weekends in a row. Finally, Romain Grosjean, news that he's discharged from hospital this morning. Martin Brundle, we understand, is going to be speaking to him, perhaps in his hotel, perhaps at the circuit on Friday. He wants to come back for the final race of the season. I remember you and I talking in the immediate aftermath of the crash, thinking, I wonder how his family feel about that. But can you understand that urge to race one more time?
Well, one of his sons, Simon, says that Roman, his dad, has a special cape like Superman made of love, which can protect him against the fire. It's a very touching thought. And I think Roman doesn't want to go out of Formula One with a fiery crash. He wants to go out in a dignified way with a proper race to be done at Abu Dhabi in just over a week's time, week and a half's time. It's possible. Whether it hurts Roman's hands to be around the steering wheel and then turning them with the burns that he has on the back of his hands, only he will know. But he wants to do it. His Haas team will let him do it if he feels up for it. They feel that they owe him that. And maybe he should. Maybe it would be a more dignified way to go out than in a rather fiery accident. But that's up to Romain Grosjean, and great to see him out of hospital.